This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. And tonight from Seattle, Washington, the road trip continues. It's game number 2 from T-Mobile Park, the St. Louis Cardinals and the Seattle Mariners. And welcome to the broadcast booth. That's the Cardinals Hall of Famer Jim Edmonds. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Erica Weston is with us as well. Really a heartbreaker for the Cardinals last night. They now have dropped 3 of 4 on this road trip, but yet did not lose any ground in the Central Division. Both Chicago and Milwaukee lost last night, and the Cardinals turned to the veteran, old Uncle Charlie, on the mound, and that's Adam Wainwright.
Yeah, Adam today is going to go out there and try to get the Cardinals back on winning track. Knows what he needs to do. He's done a really nice job in June. Look at those numbers. He's turned it around. Look at that ERA. He must have found something because he's made a big impact this last month.
Now on the flip side, the Cardinals face a guy that they saw a bunch of in Cincinnati, then signed a 5-year deal with St. Louis, and that's Mike Leake. Not a hard thrower. We'll see what the Cardinals have in store for him.
Yeah, Mike's just going to move the ball around. A lot of sinkers, sliders, changeups, change his arm angle. Kind of similar to last night with Wade LeBlanc, but he's going to be right-handed. Guy's going to have to stay back and drive the ball the other way.
They're slinging salmon at the public market here in Seattle. Game 2 coming up. And the sun for the first couple of days peeking through the clouds. It is 67 degrees. And along with Jim Edmonds and Erica Weston, I'm Dan McLaughlin. And we take a look at our Kia Give It Everything. Jairo Munoz on this road trip through San Diego. 1 game here in Seattle. And he's 5 for 11 with a homer, and he's driven in 5. That was a key bases loaded 2-out hit on Sunday. And of course he had the game-tying home run. All for naught in game 1 of this series. He's at the top of the lineup. And then Jose Martinez, he homered twice last night. The All-Star Paul DeYoung, Paul Goldschmidt, Tyler O'Neill, Dexter Fowler, Yadier Molina, Colton Wong, and Harrison Bader. Jose Martinez in the American League ballpark serving as the designated hitter. Oh, buddy, Mike Leake, start number 18. He is 7-7. And the first pitch is off a Leake, and that'll be a out at first as Munoz went diving into the bag at first. Great effort as Leake recovered, and the call on the field by first base umpire Rob Drake is out. And the Cardinals, after 1 pitch, it looks like they will challenge. So Mike Schilt, 1 pitch. Welcome to the ball game. You're challenging.
1 pitch, 1 challenge.
There you go.
Leadoff hitter is aboard.
Well, Mike Leake still going strong. Jeremy Rehack, the home plate umpire. Rob Drake, Mike Malinsky, and Tim Timmons, the crew chief. He was behind the plate last night. They've showed the replay on the video board here at the ballpark, and a lot of cheers, because that's from Cardinal fans. There's a lot of red here.
Can't tell who's cheering for who. Great effort by Munoz right there, though. That extra dive.
So what were you taught? Run through the bag, don't ever dive?
I was taught that, but I think instincts take over. You see a lot of guys dive thinking they're going to get there a little faster.
Skip Schumacher is the one that comes to mind. He did it time and again, as Leake is a good fielder, but in and out of his glove. And Munoz.
Well, I like what Munoz did. I don't know if we could run that back again, but normally when you slide head first, you're slowing down a little bit, you're sliding, so that's why you're always taught not to slide. But he actually jumped and leaped towards the bag, and it looks like he accelerates. Watch this right here. So he's really jumping at the bag, and he knows that all he has to do is touch the bag and go through it, where when you're sliding in the second, you know, you can't slide that aggressively. So I don't know, maybe in that position right there he might have made the difference.
A chant of "Let's go Cardinals" from the folks here at T-Mobile Park. And a fly ball off the bat of Martinez into shallow right. 2 pitches, a base hit, and an out. Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers around the horn with Dylan Moore getting a start in left. Speedster Malik Smith in center. Domingo Santana, 10 errors. He's in right. Seager, Crawford, Gordon, and Vogelback along the infield. Tom Murphy is behind the plate. With that base hit, that's 121 hits that Leake has allowed, second most in the American League behind Ivan Nova. And he also gives up a lot of home runs. He's given up 23. Pitches to contact, not a lot of walks, just like he did in St. Louis.
Just trying to keep the ball down, keep guys off balance, and you're right. Like, there's 2 pitches. First 2 pitches have been put in play, and that's what he wants.
He's been getting beat with his fastball to the tune of a 347 average against him. But he'll get a lot of chases with his slider. Throws it about 11% of the time, and it's kind of a slurve too, if you want to call it that.
You see that Hyundai pitch arsenal, and he basically throws everything. Makes up stuff when he's out there. He'll drop down. He'll throw the breaking ball over the top. He'll throw it sideways, sidearm. He'll throw changeup, sidearm. He'll throw the ball in, and he'll throw the ball out.
Had a long conversation with Paul DeYoung today at the team hotel. First call he made to tell family and friends that he made the All-Star team was to his grandparents, who were actually here. Had dinner with them the other night on the off day here in Seattle. They were there when they made the announcement of his contract extension. And he'll fly out of San Francisco and head to Cleveland and join the other All-Stars. He said something really interesting to me. He said, you know, when you play defense, you really don't think about it. You catch it, you throw it. You don't analyze. He said, I need to get back to that at the plate. Just react. Play the game.
Yeah, I think he got into a little bit of a funk, so he searched for a while, and I think he's found what was bothering him at the plate, and now he can get back to just trying to hit.
And he taps that foul.
He's just got to get back to letting the ball get deeper again, being able to drive the ball to right center field. He'll be able to pull the ball when it's up and in, but when it's out over the plate, he needs to use the right center field gap.
I found it interesting too. I said, are you a guy that after at bats will go look at video? And he said, not necessarily. Borderline pitches I will. He said, but we are missing in the game the conversation inside the dugout of what a pitcher is trying to do to us. That particular game, that inning, that at bat.
Well, it's interesting you said that, because Mike Schilt's all about, in the game, are we getting better or are we getting worse or are we stagnant? And he wants to get better every game.
The turn, and it is in time, and a double play. So an 8-pitch inning for Micah Leake. His former teammate Adam Wainwright on the mound here in Seattle. Bottom of the first rolls in when we come back. Strikeout 70 for Adam Wainwright, coming off, as Jimmy mentioned in the open, a very good month of June. And we'll see if it carries over to this ball game tonight. Our Hyundai pitch arsenal for the Cardinal right-hander.
Another one of those guys that's just going to move the ball around. Fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. He's got the sinker and the four-seamer, which he's been trying to throw a little bit more often. Still learning how to pitch, still moving the ball around, still changing his routine up, and maybe that's why he's been getting better all of a sudden.
So here's Malik Smith to lead it off for Seattle, and the first pitch is fouled back. 5 lefties in the lineup for the Mariners tonight. Smith at the top, and then Crawford, Santana, Vogelback, Narvaez. He had a 2-run homer last night. Seager, Murphy, Moore, and Gordon. And a curveball taken low. Smith, one of 21 players in the history of the game to wear the number 0. Wears it because his oldest sister, L'Oreal, wore the number 0 when she played basketball. Cardinals had a few that wore that number. Kerry Robinson, Omar Olivares, Bobby Bonds, father to Barry Bonds was with the Cardinals in 1980, and he wore that number.
I can't believe he wore that number 0 that long ago. That's interesting to me.
Came over in a trade. I believe Jerry Mumphrey was a part of that. John Denny. How'd you come up with 15?
It was the only number available.
And you said, I'm in the big leagues, I'll take it.
It was actually perfect. I was 25 at Anaheim, and it was just like, wasn't really worried about it, and they handed me 15, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, I wanted to wear number 1, but that guy took it. No, I'm kidding.
Wore it pretty well, too.
Yeah, he did.
It's in the outside corner, but missed in a leadoff walk. Smith has 21 stolen bases this year and has only been caught twice. Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers around the horn. O'Neill, Bader, Fowler in the outfield. Munoz to Young on the left side of the infield. Wong and Goldschmidt on the right side, and Yadier Molina is behind the plate. Here's J.P. Crawford. So the third baseman Munoz way in on the grass. Goldschmidt holding at first base, and we'll see if they want to do some running. They are third in the American League in steals.
Well, I think they'll definitely feel out Adams' time to the plate. But I'm pretty sure Scott Service over there in the Seattle dugout is familiar that these two guys as battery mates have worked together so many times that Adams going to give him a chance to throw.
Wainwright, even with diminished velocity, still very good, and a lot of it is directed from the bench and Mike Schilt, but varying his speeds to the plate, stepping off, holding the ball, those kind of things to try to disrupt any running game, and any kind of timing by Malik Smith. Long look here and then steps off. Just little things like that.
You know, it's funny too, talking with Adam this spring a lot. I didn't, and some things came up being in camp this year for 4 weeks straight, and talking to the younger players, and then I would have to go back and talk to Adam and ask him how he did it, so I wasn't saying things that I didn't understand. And I came across at one point where Adam goes out and does his bullpen, right? He throws it just like a game. He holds the ball the same way. He's not out there just like saying, okay, here's my fastball grip, I'm throwing fastballs, and a curveball grip, throwing curveball. He does everything the same, and then when he gets into the stretch, he'll hold the ball, he'll work quicker, he'll work on a slide step. So everything is just like a game. And I thought that was interesting because we're talking about tipping pitches all the time, and he was always very conscious of it, and I found out his way to overcome that was to work so hard on it away from the game. I just thought that was pretty interesting because most guys just go out there and throw their bullpens and move on.
Absolutely. Wainwright, one of those guys too, Jimmy, as you know, as his career progressed during those bullpen sessions. A lot of times it's not max effort. It's about the stride and then really just overcompensating, if you will, for the breaking ball to get a feel of it.
Yeah, just keep the feel of what you're trying to do. You can't go that many days without throwing the ball or working off the mound. I think a lot of relievers throw flat ground, but I don't think you can simulate throwing off the mound. So they really work hard when they're doing their bullpens.
Curveball taken low and away.
And that's the other thing too, when they throw their bullpens during the season especially, but even in spring when they can, the other guys get out there and watch, and that's something that was started in the group of guys that I was playing with, all the veteran pitchers, and they would try to feed off that and learn from each other. A lot of guys have changed grips and worked on pitches because of their players around them have been more successful with certain pitches than others.
He really is varying the speed of that pitch, which has always been his signature pitch. Some are harder, some soft.
And when he's successful, that's where that curveball has to be. It has to be down at the bottom of that zone. When he starts getting it up and you see it start to get to the middle of the zone and higher, that's when he tends to give up hits. Doesn't drop off the table quite as much.
Here's Domingo Santana, leads their club in runs batted in with 63. Also has popped 18 home runs. Longtime Milwaukee Brewer. Wainwright has pitched in 30 different ballparks in his career, but this is the first start ever at T-Mobile, formerly Safeco Field. And strike one.
Yeah, he was going to take a shot at the runner at first base right there.
This is just the third ever visit to Seattle by the Cardinals. They were here in 2002 and in 16. Oh, 1 pitch. Adam lost to the A's back at Busch Stadium last Wednesday. 2 runs in 6 2/3, a 2-0 loss. There was no offense, no support for him in that game. He said afterwards, my arm feels stronger than it has in years. And he said my command is better because the fastball is better. When he's right, he is dotting his fastball.
There's some younger guys down there in that locker room too that have been working out for the first time during the season. They feel like they've been able to keep the consistency with the velocity of the fastball, and it's like an eye-opening experience. You know, there's a lot of time in the past guys were afraid to lift weights and afraid to do certain things while they were pitching just because they, you know, get stiff. But I think once you work through that, you just keep going and it keeps your strength up.
Two-one, lifted in the air to Bader in center. He's there for out number 2.
Danny, I'm going to give you another shot at this, but I'm going to ask you to go on a limb and give me your Toyota keys to the game today.
I've got one, and when we did this on Sunday, the Cardinals won, so we got to go back to me to change it up.
That's why we're going with this.
So I'm saying the Toyota key to the game is controlling the lefties in the lineup for Seattle. Got to control the lefties. He struggled with lefties earlier this season. At times, if the breaking ball is flat, it can get hammered by these guys, and if not, could be a good night for old Uncle Charlie.
Speaking of lefties, it's a pretty good one coming up right here.
This is Vogelback, mentioned last night 5 different times up and down from the minor leagues to the big leagues last year, and here in 2019 he'll represent the Mariners in the All-Star game. Hit one to the wall last night, caught by Fowler, had a couple of walks, and he does not swing hardly ever at pitches outside the zone.
It's surprising too. Was just looking at this. He's only hitting 240, 242 to be exact. It's a surprising because he's got 50-something walks and he's got 20-something home runs. He doesn't have that many plate appearances. It must be just all or nothing. He's either walking or hitting homers or nothing.
Welcome to baseball in 2019.
Unbelievable. Fun fact though, he is one of only 3 guys in the history of this ballpark to hit a ball on the upper deck, and he did it last month.
That's a poke. Who are the other 2?
Movan opening weekend series here. I was sitting in the dugout for that.
Yeah.
And then Carlos Delgado in 2001.
2-1 pitch. Beauty.
That is a long way up there too.
Man, oh man. He's got 58 walks so far this season, 5th most in the American League, 7th most in club history prior to the break. And the 2-2 is tapped foul. His on base percentage is .380. His average, as Jimmy said, .242. There's always intrigue with guys when you look at him. A big guy, he hits for power, hits home runs, and at some point in his life, I'm sure will be one of the top picks in the beer league softball team that he's a part of. He looks like a DH.
He definitely looks like a DH. But that's what makes this game so beautiful, is a guy like this can come up here and hit, find a spot for him to play.
The tendency for Wainwright in these spots, not often is he throwing that fastball. It's a lot of curveballs on 3 and 2. And there it is, as that's pulled foul.
I feel like with the way he swings the bat, if you stay in there with the off-speed stuff coming towards him, that he can't do anything but pull it foul, and that's usually why a guy like this wears a shin pad, because he pulls the ball into that shin a lot, a la Matt Carpenter. I think he eats him up with a cutter if he can throw it in the right spot.
That's the other pitch he's been getting a lot of outs with too, especially the lefties in on their hands.
It might have been one right there. He didn't throw it where he wanted to.
Mariners a couple of more home runs hit last night. They have 152. The Twins 160. The Yankees, they're right around 160 as well. .23 pitches for Wainwright. Malik Smith off with the pitch again on 3-2. And a curveball taken down and in. A couple of walks in the inning. Narvaez was the catcher last night, serving as the designated hitter here in Game 2. Runners in scoring position. You're going to see that curveball time and again. Nearly half of the time with runners in scoring position, he's throwing old Uncle Charlie. Yep. Runners at first and second. And there's the curveball in for a strike. Here's last night's home run off of Jack Flaherty.
That was a nice piece of hitting too. Jack just got done walking someone, and as a hitter you're going up there and he's going to try and get ahead, and Jack threw a fastball right down the middle and he hammered it.
There's been at least one home run in each of the Mariners' 89 games this season. It's the longest streak in single season Major League Baseball history. Previous record was 69. And that has been shattered by Seattle. So they hit a bunch, but they give up their fair share too. Gave up 3 last night. And the 0-1. 0-2. Narvaez was signed out of Venezuela back in 2008. White Sox picked him up for the Rays as a Rule 5 draft pickup, and he's from the same hometown as Jose Altuve and Miguel Cabrera, 2 of the game's best. .02 pitch and just missed.
Take a look at that backdrop right there. That backdrop needs to be dark in order to get the best view of the ball coming out of the pitcher's hand, and that's a little bit of an issue right now.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. 2-2. Mentioned that the sun for the first time in a couple of days is out here in Seattle. Turned out to be a gorgeous night for baseball with the roof open. Closed last night with the rain in the area. And the 2-2 pitch. Back to Wainwright. Mariners strand a pair. No damage done. Goldschmidt, O'Neill, and Fowler coming up, and there's no score. D6 starts with the St. Louis Cardinals. It lasted 20 months. Signed an $80 million 5-year deal to come to St. Louis and then was traded away. It's been prone to the big inning this year, and that's something that happened with him in St. Louis. He's allowed 3 or more runs in an inning on 7 different occasions this season. And because of that, those types of innings, it's over 40% of the total runs he's allowed the entire year. So it's that one big inning that costs him. Here's Goldschmidt, and he looks at a ball high, and Mike's still one of the fastest workers in the game, and also a guy that doesn't walk many, just over 1 per 9, best in the American League. Lost to the Brewers in his last start, 4 runs in 6 innings. And all those runs came in the 4th inning of that start.
Where you look at this, he struggles with home runs allowed, and he's already given up 23 home runs this year so far. 23 all of last year.
Well, Paul Goldschmidt seeing a ton of off-speed pitches. We talked about it this entire road trip. Against changeups hitting 100. Off-speed total hitting 179. And a ton of pitches like that last one down and away that he's been chasing. And time called. Cardinals got a leadoff hit by Munoz. Munoz, that play diving into first, was challenged by the Cardinals, and that's the pitch right there that is getting Paul Goldschmidt as Leake gets his first strikeout of the night.
See, Paulie just way out in front of that pitch. He used to kill that pitch. He's just not waiting for the ball to get deep enough.
Tyler O'Neill, 13 plate appearances since the recall and the injury to Marcell Ozuna, and he has struck out in 8 of the 13, and all but one of those Ks have come on a non-fastball. So he's seeing as well a lot of off-speed pitches. Taken high, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Leake is in good company. 23 home runs allowed this year, and tied with Justin Verlander, the 36-year-old All-Star.
Not what you'd expect.
Nope. Leake, a 7th-round pick by the A's in '06, went to Arizona State, then drafted 8th overall by Cincinnati in 2009, and never spent a day in the minor leagues. He went from the 8th overall pick to the big leagues, traded by the Reds to the Giants, the deadline of 15. That was for Adam Duvall. Signed with the Cardinals that December, and the Cardinals then traded Leake here with cash and international bonus slot money in exchange for a minor leaguer. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the top of the 2nd.
And I think Dexter is one of the few guys with some homers against Mike Leake. I believe he has 2.
2-0 pitch, 2-1. Reports this offseason that the Mariners nearly dealt Leake to the Diamondbacks in early June. That deal fell through. And a ground ball foul. And remember, Leake nearly took less money to sign with the Diamondbacks to be closer to his parents and his wife's parents, and the story well documented at the time. But Mike's dad, Chris, was paralyzed after a fall building a log cabin in Montana in 2013, and the injury happened while his dad was a home builder, and Mike and his brother also worked on homes with his father, and so he wanted to be closer to Dad. The 2-2 pitch to Dexter Fowler, the Cardinal switch hitter, and he steps out. He strikes out the side here in the top of the second. Coming up for the M's, Seager, Murphy, and more. No score. Visit to Busch Stadium. Buy game tickets, redeem special check-in offers, access exclusive content, much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Seager, Murphy, and more coming up for the Mariners as we check in with Erica.
Dan, Adam Wainwright on the mound tonight. A nice bounce back the month of June for him after a tough month of May. 4 starts in June, 8 earned runs in 24 1/3 innings pitched. Just the first time since May of 2017 he's had 4 more starts with a sub-3 ERA. Mike Schultz said if you want to look at the bright spots in the month of June, the rotation was certainly one of them. Obviously kind of steadied and anchored by Adam Wainwright. 3rd best ERA, the rotation, very consistent, a decrease in the walks, which was a big help. But the story of June was, yes, good starting pitching, a strong bullpen. We ran the bases well. We scored enough to win 13, but if we'd have scored more, we would have won 27. Simple, but true.
To put it in perspective, Erica, 3 runs or fewer in 15 of the 26 games. So if you pitch, you win, but you got to score a little bit too.
Still got to hit.
And they did not do that. And what's amazing is that even with that month, they're hanging around. It's now 2-2. Cincinnati, another win over Milwaukee today, 3-0. Sonny Gray 5-5, and Pittsburgh comes back against the Cubs 6-5. Blown save for Craig Kimbrell. So again, if you win this, you gain a game.
Imagine if they'd have won 27. 10 games up.
I don't want to be greedy. So that is current now with Pittsburgh tied with St. Louis, and that's pulled foul. Ali Marmol there on the right. He is the bench coach for those that are curious. Former minor league player that got into coaching right away, and Mike Schilt been around forever with the Cardinals in the minor league system. And pitch taken outside. So the starters 3rd best in baseball, not just the National League. Relievers 3rd best in baseball, and a swing and a miss. Strikeout number 2 for Adam Wainwright. So that month of June was kind to St. Louis pitching.
Great curveball right there. It ends up in the no-hit zone. Cannot hit that ball where it ends up.
Brings in Tom Murphy. He was the backup catcher game 1 last night. He was acquired from San Francisco at the end of March for a minor leaguer, right-handed pitcher. And it's 0-2.
Adams got his A game going so far. He's got a good movement on the fastball. The breaking ball is down.
And that's out of play. Tom Murphy from West Monroe, New York. Played at the University of Buffalo, and there have been 2 players from Buffalo, the university, that have made it to the big leagues, and he's one of them.
A little chilly up there.
You're not going to get a lot of baseball in up there.
Indoor baseball.
Grew up idolizing Jorge Posada. Was a big Yankees fan, and you can understand that with the proximity to New York City. Back-to-back strikeouts, number 3 tonight.
Another good breaking ball right here. More of a slider here. Kind of a tighter breaking ball. But he's getting some good break up here in the northwest. That heavy air.
Talk about versatility. That is Dylan Moore, seeing time at 8 of the 9 defensive positions. Tonight he's in left field. He's even been on the mound at one point, and the only position he has not played, catcher. So 2 outs and nobody on. Played at the University of Central Florida. Went to Cypress College. That's the junior college that Hall of Famer Trevor Hoffman attended. And I bet this guy knows you pretty well, because his parents were season ticket holders to Angels games.
For the California Angels.
You bet.
Cypress Junior College, I believe, is right down the street there.
You say he carries about 6 different gloves. Shortstop, third, first, outfield. And it's 3-2. D. Gordon on deck. Usually these types of guys wind up in the National League. With all the double switching that happens. Wainwright thought he had strike 3. Instead, it's walk number 3. Little smile from Adam. Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Wherever legendary MLB moments happen, Budweiser will be there. By Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. And St. Louis Children's Hospital and Washington University Physicians, Guardians of Childhood. Here's D. Gordon. Our friend and longtime Cardinals employee C.J. Cherry checking us out tonight and enjoying, well, I'd like to think he's enjoying retirement.
I think he's just trying to keep an eye on us, make sure our facts are straight.
Yep. I don't blame him.
Been around a long time.
I felt more comfortable last year when I did my imitation of him, when I knew that he was officially going to step aside. All right, CJ.
You let Ernie Moore.
Now I got Ernie. Let's slap the other way. We thank CJ for everything he did for so many years, for so many players, us in the media, Cardinal fans. A lot of work behind the scenes.
One of the best people on the planet. Intergalactic.
Runner goes. Yachty's throw right on the money, and the tag applied by DeYoung. It was a breaking ball, slow to the plate, and Yachty still got him. Moore, who has 6 steals this year, even got a good jump. Doesn't matter. The Hall of Famer got him. Quest for a record 4th World has all come down to this, and it's the final FIFA Women's World Cup final. Coverage begins Sunday, 9 a.m. on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Here's Yadier Molina. Haven't teams learned that you don't run on Yachty even if he's in year 50?
It's just trying to pick out a breaking ball and still couldn't get there. That was a heck of a throw, though. I mean, you can't throw it any better. Ball would have hit the bag if there was no one there.
After the leadoff hit by Munoz, it's been a fly out. DeYoung grounded into a double play. Leak struck out the side in the second. Gets Molina to ground out. And here's Colton Wong.
Got to make him get the ball up. Got to. It's amazing too. These guys are, a lot of these guys have had some at bats against Mike Leake too. It's not like they're just facing him for the first time.
I think the question right now for a lot of fans, Jimmy, and here's in tune with what's happening offensively, is anybody watching these guys day in and day out, is why are they struggling? Why has this been a collective struggle for this offense?
I can't figure it out, to be honest with you.
I mean, they clearly put in the work, and that's one thing, but you know, the video study, they understand the tendencies, and there's just too many good players on this team for the Cardinals to be hitting at this level. It just doesn't make sense.
And some people talk about being too much information out there, and they're getting away from just seeing the ball and hitting it. And I truly believe that that could be an issue, although I don't know if that's what's happening, but there definitely is a lot of information out there.
And the 2-2 pulled foul. Let's check in again with Erica.
Dan, that was something Mike Schild addressed before the game today. Their theme, do damage. It's what they talk about during their ball talk conversation. He said, look, it's not like we looked up at the end of April and said, no, we're good. We're good on this do damage thing. The May lack of result affected how we want to think about our offensive approach. A lot is unexplainable, trying to get over the hangover we all are. But our hard hit contact rate improved as our results decreased.
Strikeout number 4 for Mike Leake. And the batter will be Harrison Bader. I think with some guys, you expect them this day and age of baseball, they may not be above 250. But others, it's hard to figure out with, you know, Goldschmidt obviously being one. Matt Carpenter's off to a slow start, now on the IL. These guys are too good to be seeing the numbers right now that are put up on the board night in and night out. These are all-star caliber players.
Yeah, that's definitely why it's such a surprise.
There's a 1-0 pitch, backs up for a strike, 1-1. Mariners, it comes from the Marine culture, as you might have guessed, here in the city of Seattle. Founded in 1977. Did not have a winning record until 91. As Bader taps it out in front of the plate, and the out. Leak to Vogelback, and he's settled in. After the leadoff hit, we're midway through 3, and there's no score. Mobile's connection to the game. Dodgers lead baseball 58 wins. Arizona bullpen had a 4-3 lead last night, but then 5 straight walks. And goodbye. The Yankees lost last night in the Subway Series opener 4-2. And in that game, did not hit a home run. And the Cubs dropped 14 of their last 22. John Sterling, longtime voice of the Yankees. 5,060 consecutive Yankee games. That includes 185 postseason games he's been behind the mic. And he'll take the weekend series off against Tampa Bay, missing a broadcast for the first time in 30 years. So it gives him the All-Star break. He's been feeling a little bit under the weather. Think about that. He called every save of Mariano Rivera, who's been a unanimous choice this year, headed to the Hall of Fame. And as it pertains to the Mariners, Edgar Martinez, the 7-time All-Star, couple of batting championships, 5 Silver Sluggers. Edgar Martinez headed to the Hall of Fame. Just off the plate, it's Mariano Rivera, Roy Halladay, Mike Mussina, former Cardinal Lee Smith, and Harold Baines, all headed to the Hall of Fame.
It's a pretty good class.
Great class. Mentioned how last night Ken Griffey Jr. helped save baseball here in Seattle. Well, so did Edgar Martinez.
Oh, for sure.
He's That October game in 1995, he had the double off of Jack McDowell. That was at the Kingdome. Scored Griffey, eliminated the Yankees, and really changed public sentiment towards the team for a new stadium. Munoz makes the play. Good play by Munoz to his left. Christian Day presented by Thrivent Financial. That's July 14th, a Sunday. Cardinals and Diamondbacks featured speaker Paul Goldschmidt. Cardinals.com/Christian Day. It's amazing when you hear about the influences of these players, and you had them. You love Don Mattingly. Edgar Martinez was born in New York City, but then moved to Puerto Rico at the age of 9. And a base hit. And he said he idolized Roberto Clemente, and he said his aunt was watching Clemente and would scream when he would do something well. So proud of Clemente. So they had it on television, and it was rare that they would see him. And he said he literally, from that point forward, went outside and started to hit rocks with a broomstick, and that's how he began his love for the game of baseball. His aunt screaming, happy, and then tossing up rocks and hitting him with a broomstick. Pretty cool.
That's a lot of those guys practiced back then. Edgar Renteria talked about using a milk carton for a glove when he was a kid. Always talked about hitting rocks with a broomstick. It's amazing what the stories that can come out of there, and especially when you get to know the guys and they really open up and talk about it.
Another quick move, and Smith back in. So he's a designated hitter headed to the Hall of Fame. Frank Thomas spent roughly half of his career as a DH, but really the first full-time DH, Edgar Martinez. Smith is running. Yadi's throw is in time. No, they're going to say he got in there, and that's going to be awfully close.
He was flying.
That'll be stolen base number 22 for Malik Smith. Moore was caught stealing to end the second. That young man can fly.
I think that's the fastest I've seen someone run from first to second.
Mike Maddox is trying to figure out if it was called a ball or a strike, and the Cardinals will not challenge.
Everybody's trying to figure something out.
It was 29.2 sprint speed on that steal. That is moving.
I mean, just the slide and everything was so quick.
That's feet per second on that. So 1 out, 2 balls, no strikes on Crawford. Long look by Wainwright. Slapped foul and out of play. They do not have the extended netting. This ballpark all the way down the lines.
Right,
it's a little bit above the dugout, but not very high, and that went right over it.
That hit somebody. I mean, holy cow. It's got to be the smallest net in the league, huh? Just barely above the dugout.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know why they just don't go all the way up to those wires. That's crazy.
Yankee Stadium has a short netting above the dugouts. More and more teams going to the full netting down the lines. Heard that announcement the last couple of weeks after the incident in Houston. And a 3-1 pitch pulled foul. Full count. Wainwright has struck out 3, walked 3. The base hit by Malik Smith, the first he's given up tonight. But the pitch count is already at 64. And the 3-2 pitch, curveball, just got a piece. The 3-2 pitch again from Adam Wainwright. Fastball, and he struck him out. 4 tonight for Adam, 2 of J.P. Crawford.
It's a good pitch right here down at the bottom of the zone. Sinker. Throw enough cutters and sliders inside to start to get guys to pull off and start to look for the curveball. They don't know what's coming. Just a simple fastball right there by him.
It goes back to having so much information. The information would tell you on 3-2 he's going to go with the breaking ball. The pitch before he did was fouled and then went back with a fastball. So he's keeping guys off balance. You know, the other thing too, he's getting a lot of called third strikes, which tells you that guys are maybe thinking, or they're in between against him. They don't know what to expect.
Definitely getting in between.
Domingo Santana. Fly to center, first time up. And again, a check on Malik Smith. One ball and one strike.
A lot going on today, huh?
He's kept a close eye on that runner at second base, and that's a strike. Last time that Wainwright faced Seattle was in 2013. Went 8 innings in that game. Also saw them in 2010. Both those games in St. Louis.
Can't believe he's pitched in 30 interleague games. Seems like a lot.
And the 1-2 curveball got him to chase. And it's back-to-back strikeouts for Wainwright. And he's got 5 tonight. Griffey Jr. and his statue just outside the ballpark. 630 home runs, and one of 2 numbers retired by the Seattle Mariners, the other Edgar Martinez. Top of the lineup, Jairo Munoz is now 6 for 12 on the road trip, singled on the first pitch of the ball game. Ken Griffey also 10 Gold Glove awards.
They've only gotten 1 ball out of the infield. It was a fly ball to right by Martinez.
The 2-1 pitch. On a hop to short. I'm curious, when you got to St. Louis, did you, if at all, use Ken Griffey Jr. as motivation? Both you guys are traded to the Central Division, both elite defenders.
No, I did not. I never ever. I mean, he was a better player than I was, and I just tried to go out there and do my own thing. But no, I enjoyed watching him play. He was as good. We used to get up early and come out to the Kingdom and watch him take batting practice. He was always very, very nice to me. He was such good friends with Eduardo, and I was good friends with Eduardo. I've heard all the rumors about him calling SportsCenter and telling them to back off on showing so many highlights of me, but face to face, he was always great to me. And
did he really?
Send me,
I hadn't heard that.
That's what I'd heard. He'd always give me bats and some shoes here and there, and just super nice guy.
He was great to me, and I remember I asked him, I said, Ken, do you mind if I do a feature on you, but I need you for about a 15-minute interview? He didn't like to talk baseball.
No.
And he said, I'll do it for you, but then we got to start talking about my son again.
Yep.
And talking football.
Talking about Trey and playing football. And
no problem. He brought me into their clubhouse one time, and it was before the media was supposed to be in there, and they wanted to. There was some personnel that wanted me out, and Ken said, he's with me. Pulled up a stool. We started talking. I really enjoyed being around him.
Some kind of player.
And I'm glad if he wasn't going to hit 500 at home that he got it in St. Louis. And that is a rope out to right, but circling is Santana. He was spun around. We saw a play like that with Tyler O'Neill in left field last night. This one in right.
Yep. Does another good job of turning his head and making an adjustment. That might be the ball right there you could turn to the inside because it's really not over your head, but he did a nice job of just spinning around, finding the ball, and getting back in position.
Into center, and again Mike Leake, a 1-2-3 inning. He has faced the minimum tonight and allowed just one hit and struck out. July 3rd, 2000s, and part of the championship run of that year. Josh Kenny makes his debut. There's Josh, the right-hander. Postseason play, 7 games, 6 1/3, 3 hits, no runs. And a teammate of yours and a teammate in that bullpen of Adam Wainwright's.
Yeah, he did a good job that year. He pitched in 21 games during the regular season. Had a 3.2 ERA. He won a game in the he got a win in the championship series, and then went on to pitch in 2 games during the World Series. I mean, he did a nice job.
Nasty slider too.
Nasty slider. He's like Nintendo slider.
Here's a Vogel back, and that pitch taken outside. Adam Wainwright, last start, it was start number 300 of his career. 5th most in Cardinals history. Gibson, Forsch, Haynes, Doak, and Wainwright tonight, number 301. His winning percentage 62.4, 3rd best ever by a Cardinal. 151 and 90. There's the list of some of the greats. Number 1 in winning percentage, Dizzy Dean, 678. Leader of the Gas House Gang. And missed in. There are different explanations as to why they were called the Gas House Gang. There was an article in a paper that said they're from the Gas House District, and the catch made by Bader. Leo DeRocher in his autobiography said there was a cartoon that depicted them as a bunch of roughnecks from the wrong side of the track. So that was that. And then Pepper Martin used to arrive at the ballpark apparently with grease on his face. He had a midget race car that he worked on, and so he'd be working on that and then come to the ballpark and have grease on his face. So you had
probably had a real job.
The Gas House Gang.
Those days.
Here's Omar Narvaez. And that's pulled foul. So the sun going down, and now that backdrop a little bit darker.
Yep, definitely. That's all you need right there. You just need that black area in the dark.
Popped up, outfield grass to Young. And now a quick word from Great Southern Bank.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Thank you.
No, I checked my balance. Great Southern app.
Great.
Maury Cooper was number 2 in winning percentage. 128 games that he won, and 100 of those with the Cardinals. I remember learning about Mort. He had a salary dispute with the owner at the time, Sam Braden, who has been elected to the Cardinals Hall of Fame. And he was dealt for Red Barrett. And 3 months after the deal, he had elbow surgery, and Cardinals got the best of that deal. We talk about 1.12 in the ERA of Bob Gibson. Maury Cooper was the MVP in 1942 with a 1.78 ERA that doesn't get talked about. Red Barrett came over, and he was a singer. He sung with the Los Angeles Philharmonic. And that's what he'd do in the offseason. He would sing.
It's one way to work.
What did you do in the offseason?
I drove a truck around with a bunch of tires in the back.
This is before you signed a major league deal, I would assume.
For sure. And then once I could afford to do other things, I worked out.
What was your signing bonus?
30, I think.
30,000?
Yep. Because the guy that was selected 2 rounds in front of me, 3 rounds in front of me, didn't want to finish high school, and apparently the story was he took 30,000, so they weren't going to offer somebody behind him any more than that.
Did you want to beat him up?
No, I didn't know what I was doing back in those days.
Long a play on the outfield grass and a 1-2-3 for.
Didn't even know what the draft was.
Adam Wainwright, Goldschmidt, O'Neill, and Fowler coming up. And the All-Star game coming on Tuesday. You can see that on Fox. Don't want to miss it from Cleveland, the All-Star game. Here's Paul Goldschmidt, the 6-time All-Star. And he struck out swinging back in the second, an inning in which Leake struck out the side. Hasn't walked a man. Leake has struck out 4. He's faced the minimum through 4. And he set down 11 in a row. A ball and a strike. And here comes a home run. Sometimes you got to will it. Like the other day.
Just said it out of the blue.
You know, it's the do factor with Wieters. Last night I could sense Jairo Munoz, and now I'm saying, Jimmy, to change it up, here comes a home run. I'll take that.
That's just as good as the way we've been going.
Extra bases down that left field line and into the corner. And a leadoff double, snapping 11 in a row from Mike Leake.
You got a feeling right there, huh?
I did.
It's a pretty good swing. Just stayed back and waited for the ball to get there. That's what you got to do. It's not throwing that hard. 87. Now you just got to run for 2.
It's only the second hit allowed by Mike Leake. Wainwright has allowed 1 base hit. And that was to Malik Smith back in the 3rd. Struck out on a slider first time up. Looks at a fastball low. The 1-0 pitch to O'Neill outside 2-0. Mike Leake gave up hit number 3,000, by the way, to one Albert Pujols, who is 1 hit back of Robin Yount and tied currently 19th all time, 3,141 hits with Tony Gwynn. And here it was off of Mike Leake. Shorter hair then. Early May of 2018, and the 3,000th hit for Albert Pujols. The 2-1, and O'Neill skies one into right. Santana under it, makes the catch. Goldschmidt stays put. Cardinals are teaming up with National Car Rental to bring fans a great deal on tickets. Limited time. Cardinals Pirates, July 15th through the 17th. Just $6. Visit Cardinals.com/6. Well, you at least want to see Goldschmidt get to third, and that is not accomplished there by O'Neill, and it brings in Dexter Fowler. Struck out on a fastball up in the zone back in the second, 0 for 1. And the 0-1 pitch. 32 members of the 3,000 hit club. There's some pretty good names that gave up hit number 3,000. Dennis Eckersley to Dave Winfield. Justin Verlander to A-Rod. That was a home run. David Price, Derek Jeter.
That was a home run.
Yep. Mo Drabowski, Stan the Man.
Wade Boggs was a home run, right?
It was. Yeah, he was with Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Hit it into the seats and right. Then kissed the plate as he came home. Two balls and one strike. And a grounder to the right side. D. Gordon makes the play. Goldschmidt advancing to third. Hall of Famer Paul Molitor with a triple for hit number 3,000, and the only one to that exclusive club to have a triple for that hit.
I remember that too.
The chance of Yachty here at the ballpark. Cardinals need a 2-out hit with a runner at third.
I remember Rod Carews 3,000 hit. His helmet almost fell off.
Yep.
Slapped the ball to left field. It's funny how you see those same highlights over and over and over.
Few and far between, aren't they?
You almost feel like you were there half the time.
Nothing in 2. Last time prior to tonight was 2015 with the Giants. And Mike Leake, member of the Giants then, and then the last time he pitched for the Cardinals was against Tampa Bay in 17. As Yachty hits it out to right, but there's Santana. Leadoff double, and the Cardinals can't bring him in. Team prevent defense. Cardinals right side of the infield looking at Colton Wong and Paul Goldschmidt. Long with 7 errors, Goldschmidt with 4, but see what they've done in the ranks at their position. Fielding percentage. Errors can be a bit misleading because it doesn't really take into account range. You know, your fielding percentage can go up or down by the amount of baseballs you get to. That's something to think about when you look at defensive stats.
Well, and you can also have a bad scorekeeper. Could cost you a few errors over the course of the season.
Big breaking ball to Tom Murphy.
Am I right?
Absolutely.
Or a favorable one could help your cause.
Here's the 0-1 pitch by Wainwright. Check swing. Nothing in 2. They peel down to first, get the call. Wainwright has 5 strikeouts tonight.
This game, if it wasn't for Adam in the first inning, he threw a bunch of pitches. This reminds me, I was playing in a game in Vancouver in AAA, and we finished the game before it got dark outside.
It's
middle
dark
of summer
here,
like
about
this.
9:15 right now, 9:30 local time.
Like a 2-hour game, and went to my car, and it was as light outside as it is right now.
And the 1-2 pitch struck him out, lost his helmet. Little cutter there by Wainwright, number 6 tonight. Dylan Moore had walked back in the second and then stole on this pitch. And look at that throw. It's right on the bag. StatCast AI powered by AWS. Still doing it as well as anybody in the game.
Yes, he is.
Wainwright with the 6 strikeouts. All have been swinging. 4 of the 6 on a curve. 1 with a cutter, the other one on a 3-2 fastball. It was this time last year, Jimmy, I thought
you were never going to see him pitch again.
Never see him again. That day in San Diego, walked off the mound, and he actually admitted that to me. 1-0 Seattle. Home run hit by Dylan Moore, his 4th of the year.
Look at the location right there. He tried to throw a sinker away. Ball just ran back over the plate.
Here's D. Gordon, 1-0 Seattle. And a bouncer up the middle, just past Wong and into center field. Back-to-back hits for the Mariners. See, Wong was in and also shading Gordon to pull, so missed it by that much.
Well, and then I think the pitch was away too, so one more time. I like the defensive effort, but I feel like those guys out there now to start transitioning into watching location with Yachty and then kind of putting their own spin on where they think the ball's going to go.
Malik Smith has grounded into just 2 double plays. He has walked and singled. Stole his 22nd base of the year.
See if we can't keep both of these guys off the base at the same time.
So just 3 hits for the Mariners. Pitch count at 91 and some lefties now to deal with. So Tyler Webb gets up and starts to throw. Smith walked back in the first, then the single in the third, left stranded. There's Tyler Webb. And time called. Cardinals last night used Leone, Webb, Gallegos, and Miller. Webb went an inning and a third, did not allow a hit, walked 1, and that was intentional in that 6th inning. Here's a 1-0 pitch from Wainwright. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Pretty big swing.
Well, for a leadoff guy that's
Number
got
0.
tremendous speed.
He's got 5 homers, though.
Wainwright nearing 100. Mike Leake has thrown 60 pitches tonight. Tomorrow it's Waka, and the Mariners will have an opener for their starter, then Tommy Malone. Hit the other way, pretty well hit, down into the corner and caught. So Neal fires it back in quickly to the infield.
Good job by Tyler O'Neill. That ball is running away from him in the corner. And you got to also think that there's a chance that D. Gordon could tag. That was a nice job right there.
I don't know if you're D. Gordon, are you kind of in between on that? Because if it gets down, he may score, but he doesn't put himself in scoring position by not tagging up.
That's a tough one. You're right, though. But I have a feeling like if that ball was in right field, he might have a chance. But that ball being in left field, I think it's kind of tough to tag on that ball. Been easy for him to tag, but maybe a tougher read to see if it was going to drop or not.
Now it's Crawford, part of the Segura deal with the Phillies in the offseason. Phillies 4.5 back of Atlanta in the National League East. Seattle starts play 38-51, 17.5 out. And as we speak, because of Milwaukee and Chicago losing earlier, the Cardinals just 3 out, could be 2.5 with a win.
We've been saying that all week.
Yep. Little chopper hit to Wong, and he'll go to first for the out. Home run hit by Dylan Moore, his 4th of the year. We're through 5, and it's 1-0 Mariners. All right, Jimmy, thanks. So 60 pitches to get through 5 for Mike Leake. Cardinals have just 2 hits. Leake has not walked a man. He has struck out 4. Jairo Munoz, a leadoff hit, first pitch of the game. And then a leadoff double by Goldschmidt in the 5th inning, but Cardinals couldn't bring him in. Did you see on the video board who was pictured?
Yes.
As
That's
Wong
why I love doing the games up here.
pulled it. They
You
put
never
a
know what's going to go on.
camera on a fan that apparently is dressed as Steve Bartman down the left field line.
Down the left field line. There he is.
Yep.
Oh, he had his headphones on though. Goofball. The headphones made it though. Now he's getting all kinds of text messages.
Shift on the right side and a 1-2 pitch. Wong is swing and a miss. Mike Leake with 5 strikeouts.
Good pitch. He's making pitches. He's getting ahead. He's making pitches. He's throwing balls where they can't be hit. Really good pitch to a lefty right there.
I think we're seeing with Bader, anything in, he'll crush it, and that's why see the pitcher there leaving it over the middle of the plate where the catcher Murphy wanted it outside. You do that middle inner half, he's going to do some damage.
Well, and that's good. It's a good example of a good at bat for him right here. He's just trying to hit. He's been caught in between, off guard, letting pitches go. I think he needs to go up there, look out over the plate, and just be aggressive. And that time right there, you know, where normally you're not swinging at a breaking ball. If you see it though and it's hanging, go ahead. If the timing is right, go ahead and let it go. Don't take pitches that are up in the zone.
Well, you know Leake is around the plate. Do you hit and run? Do you go on the first pitch? But you got to get something going. Not running, and Munoz hits it into center. Bader back to tag up, but too late, and there's 2 away.
Look at this.
The ball gets away, and safe at second, Bader.
Don't put your head down. You missed something. Does a nice job right here, and this is actually what you should do more often. So he gets out here and he goes, oh, I can tag. So he goes back. You don't have to tag, but if you make a read on the throw, and just like he did with his speed, it's a great job. It's just like when you get a base hit and they're trying to score from second, you read the throw. If the throw is high, you keep running. If the throw is low, you got to stop. Play is right in front of you. There's no reason for him to do anything but what he just did.
Now Jose Martinez been trying to take that ball to right. 0 for 2. 2 flyouts to Domingo Santana and right. Kubota power stats since 2018 as the designated hitter. Good numbers. 2 of those 3 home runs hit in game 1 of this series. He's taking the ball to right, letting the ball get deep. And Jimmy, as big as he is in plate coverage, he should be able to go to right.
Oh, he hit that ball he hit out to right yesterday. He blasted and hit it further than the home run he hit to left, and I was impressed. I mean, that ball was 7-8 rows up in right center field. Tough ballpark for the ball to carry too.
Big gap in left center. Smith, the center fielder, shading him a bit into the gap in right. Cardinals need a 2-out hit. And that's outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Paul DeYoung on deck. And if you're Mike Leake, would you rather deal with DeYoung or get Martinez here? Now you have a 1-run lead, but there's a lot of guys right now struggling in this lineup, and the one guy that's hit the ball fairly well, even going back to Sunday, is this guy at the plate.
Martinez, yeah.
They know that.
Oh, they definitely know that. That's for sure.
And Martinez lines it to center and right at Malik Smith. So again, the Cardinals strand a runner. A lot of hard hit balls and nothing to show for it. On tap, Micah in game 3 tomorrow. Allowed a pair of runs, season high 7 innings in the 3-1 loss to the Padres last Friday. It was the road trip opener, and both runs came on back-to-back homers, you may recall. Fernando Tatis Jr., Eric Hosmer in the 6th. But outside of that, he was very good. So Wainwright with 97 pitches through 5 innings, only 3 hits allowed, and he's got 3, 4, and 5 this inning. I thought that Wainwright would at least start the inning, and then you have Vogelbach and Narvaez coming up. You could go to a lefty. Seager then following. He's a lefty. But way he's pitched this year, roll him out there.
Well, I think he pitches until he gets somebody on, especially with these lefties coming up. I would hate to see him just take him out after this first guy right here. Let him go as long as he can go.
It's taken high. Santana flied to center, struck out on a curveball back in the 3rd. Tyler Webb back up and throwing again. And a base hit. And that'll be it. Has not made the call. Now he did. Left hand goes up, and that's going to be it for Adam Wainwright with 101 pitches in this ball game. So pitches into the 6th, Leadoff base hit to Santana, and Vogelback coming up to face Tyler Webb when we come back. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cardinals. Beautiful city of Seattle, sun setting here in the great Northwest. Vogelback is hitting 127 against lefties, and these two hooked up last night. Webb and their big power hitter, and he hit one, you may recall, with 2 runners on, first and third, to the wall, and it was caught by Dexter Fowler. So here we go again, runner at first, and nobody out here in the home half of the 6th.
He had a hanging breaking ball off his front foot all the way to the warning track.
So all but 2 home runs against right-handed pitching. John Brebbia starts to throw. 1 ball, 1 strike. Difference in this game, solo home run hit by Dylan Moore. Shift on the right side of the infield, and edging closer to second base, Jairo Munoz. This is what I find interesting is, you know, if Wong gets, and Wong, I think Munoz is talking right now to DeYoung about this. If Wong would get the ground ball, who's going to cover? Sometimes it is DeYoung, even with a shift, but Munoz fairly close. Don't have to worry about it. The base hit in the right. Runners at the corners and nobody out for Seattle. Second time that Vogelback has been aboard.
Pitches in and up. He sees, I think he's a dead pull hitter. Pulls his hands in. I think that ball's down. He just yanks it foul. Got the right color pen.
Now I do. Time is called. You got to color coordinate, Jimmy, quickly on your scorecard so you can make that split-second reaction. Ball scoots away and a run will score. Wild pitch. Charge to Webb, and the run charged to Wainwright. Closed the book. 5+, 2 runs, 4 hits, struck out 6, walked 3, and gave up a homer.
I think that ball hit Yachty right in the thumb. That is a bad spot to get hit. And if that hit his bare hand, that's his bad thumb. Yep.
Oh, yeah, it sure did.
On the thumb. That thumb bone right there. I know you can't see this at home, but I've taken a couple balls off of that top knuckle on your thumb on my glove hand out there in center field, and it hurts. Can't imagine what it feels like on your bare hand up that close.
DeYoung backhands, throws, nice play. Paul DeYoung showed off the arm too.
Great play right there.
Told me earlier today it's as relaxed and as confident he has ever been defensively in his life.
Well, he has been putting work in every day at short. I've been out there catching throws from him at first, at second. He's even been so kind and let Landon work in with him over there at short during early work. He's out there working every day, and he does his little routine where he'll backhand a bunch of balls. He'll go onto the forehand side and he'll just take some off the grass up close. But you got to love guys like that that want to work and want to get better.
This is Kyle Seager. Also keeps Vogel back at second base with that play. And that pitch is up in the zone, but popped up. Shallow right, backing up cold long, and makes the catch. And Seager is 0 for 3. Elvis night coming up at the ballpark. Get your special Elvis t-shirt. Elvis night, part of the theme nights, cardinals.com/theme. Pre-game concert, that'll be Friday, July 12th. So Tom Murphy coming up. It's an all right-handed bench. And so John Brebbia, first game back. And he's coming on. This summer, in a Customs large brim straw hat courtesy of Brown and Crouppen. That'll be Sunday, July 14th. Cardinals.com/promotions. Chevy called to the pen takes us to John Brebbia, reinstated from the paternity list yesterday. His wife Amanda having their first child, so congratulations to the Brebbias. Opposition batting .276 overall, and then with runners in scoring position, they're just 3 for 18. He's done a good job in this spot. Stranded 21 of 25 inherited runners. So 2 outs and a runner at second base. And he comes in with a little rest, and it probably, the baby's birth was at a good time for him.
Yeah.
He needed a little break.
Much needed.
Wonder what his baby will think when sees John without the beard. Mom, who is this guy?
Stranger danger.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Good fastball. Nothing in 2. And the 0-2 pitch by Brebbia. Got him. 3 pitches, struck him out. Tom Murphy has struck out 3 times tonight. A home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. They got one 7th inning last night with 2 outs. Jairo Munoz tied the game up at 4. Eventually the Cardinals lost 5-4 on a pinch hit homer by Tim Beckham. Now they trailed 2-0 in this ball game. Seeing more and more that Blues hat and jersey and shirts everywhere we go. Mike Leake, pitch number 72. He has struck out 5. He's not walked anybody and allowed a total of 3 hits. That has been it. DeYoung, Goldschmidt, O'Neill. As we know, Paul, well-educated, smart guy, loves science. He's also trying to get back his piano lessons, something he did as a young kid to take his mind away from the game. Loves to hunt, but also play the piano, and learning Spanish, as he and Jairo Munoz will talk in Spanish, and Paul is helping out Munoz with English and vice versa. Wow. Base hit into center, and the tying run is aboard. The line shot by DeYoung right past the head of Mike Leake.
Hello.
Woof. Matter of fact, Polo Asensio and Benji Molina, our Spanish broadcasters, will have Paul on their pregame show. Specifically
that good
for
already?
him, yeah, to try to get it down. Here's Goldschmidt.
There was your homer right there.
Yep. Last time the Cardinals had a 3-run inning was on June 25th against Oakland. And the 0-1 pitch to Paul Goldschmidt. Will it get out of play? It will. 0-2. Struck out chasing a slider on 3-2 back in the second. And then doubled down into the left field corner in the fifth. 1 for 2 tonight. The longest outing has been a complete game for Mike Leake. That was back on June 5th. The most strikeouts he's had this year, 7 in a game, and he's got 5. Hit slowly, tough play, and out. Kyle Seager, we saw defensively last night, above average down there at third, and that play very, very close. Be another challenge potentially this late in the game for the Cardinals. Will they do it? Does not look like it. Goldschmidt is the first out. No challenge by St. Louis.
It's a heck of a play right there.
Runner at second now, and so Murphy making sure they go over the signs, maybe change those up. Tyler O'Neill at the plate. 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out in the second, fly to right. One swing and this game's tied. And a fly ball into center. Smith with room, so DeYoung will tag up from second to third. A reminder that Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Wherever legendary MLB moments happen, Budweiser will be there. And by Ford, the official car and truck of the Cardinals. Fowler with 8 home runs, 6 of the 8 from this side of the plate. Oh for 2 tonight. Struck out swinging. Fastball up in the zone and also grounded out to second. And strike 1.
Little cutter on the hands right there. You see Dexter's eyes lit up. He thought he was going to get himself a fastball, and it kept chasing him.
Nothing in 2. Efficient tonight. Total of 81 pitches. Fly ball. Will it get out of play? No. In foul territory, Dylan Moore. Leadoff single. DeYoung left stranded. Time to stretch here in game 2. Fifth inning off of Adam Wainwright and our Nissan drive of the game. Dylan Moore, solo home run to left, his 4th of the season. That made it 1-0. Then in the 6th, a leadoff base hit by Domingo Santana. And a base hit by Vogelbach sent him to third, and then a wild pitch brought him in, and that's your scoring tonight. 2-0 in favor of Seattle. John Brebbia needed 3 pitches to strike out Tom Murphy. Lone batter that he saw in the 6th inning. Strike 1. One ball and 1 strike. You know, Mike Leake came into this start, and last couple had really been struggling. A lot of hits, but not tonight. He has baffled the St. Louis lineup.
Oh, you don't think he wasn't ready to pitch against his old team? Probably was watching this one on the calendar for a couple of months now.
And the Cardinals just are not hitting. No other way to put it. Here's a 1-2. Struck him out with a fastball, and Mariners have struck out 8 times tonight. 6 by Wainwright and 2 for John Brebbia.
It's a good fastball right there. It's just on the edge of the strike zone and up underneath the hands.
You can see he's got a little extra again back.
Yep.
John Gant throwing in the Cardinal pen. D. Gordon at the plate, 1 for 2. There's still a place in this game for guys that don't have launch angle, don't hit for a ton of home runs, but have what this guy's got, which is speed and range.
Speed and defense.
Yeah.
Can run a little bit, play a couple different positions.
They've even tried him in the outfield a bit.
Playing center field this year, wasn't he, early on?
Mariners are struck out now 20 times in the series. There's 12 strikeouts in the ball game last night, already 8 here in game number 2. Showing bunt with 2 strikes, and it's 2-2.
Pretty good bunter if you're squaring around with 2 strikes.
2-2 pitch, and he struck him out. So Brebbia has seen 3 and struck out all 3. And tonight, that is the first strikeout of the 9 that's been looking.
Looks like he was looking for that back foot slider right there, trying not to swing at it. Took 2 fastballs right around the zone and 1 right down the middle.
Back to the top of the lineup, and Mallex Smith walked, singled, stole his 22nd base, and then hit one to the track in left field down in the corner, and a nice play by Tyler O'Neill. Strike 1. Mentioned that Smith comes from an athletic family, youngest of 4 kids. Brother Michael played running back for the Arkansas Razorbacks. It's Cardinals country there. And the 1-1. Lifts a fly ball into center. Bader was spun around. That'll hang up there. Gets under it. Makes the catch. Brebbia 4 up, 4 down. We head to the 8th in a 2-0 game. But pitching well tonight. Hits allowed, and he struck out 5. No walks as he's pitching into the 8th against his former team. Ball 1 to Yadier Molina. Only 83 pitches for Mike Leake tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Molina has grounded to short, fly to right. He has been much better, Mike Leake, here at home. 5-2. Reverse it on the road, 2-5. ERA run better at home. 2-1 pitch. 2-2.
He's done a really nice job tonight of not giving in. See right there, the 2-1 pitch. He knows he can throw a strike with any pitch that he wants. So right there, instead of having to throw a fastball back in the count, he throws a little slider away that Yadi really can't reach. It's strike 2.
Just off the plate. Mike Leake, the owner of 5 career complete games, including one about a month ago. 3-2 pitch. Spoiled. Crowd tonight 31,878. 31878. Pitch number 8 of the AB. We'll have a ninth. Ninth pitch of the at bat right here. And time called, granted late. Like that move.
Well, he just shook off 5 pitches.
Yep.
Put every pitch down but the slider, and that's what he wanted.
Did he go? He did. A strikeout of Molina. Sixth strikeout for Mike Leake. Reaction of Molina. There's Colton Wong. Struck out twice tonight. There's strike one. Third baseman Seager in along with Vogel back at first. 0-2. Before the night is through, he'll still have to go through Munoz, Martinez, and DeYoung, and then potentially Goldschmidt. Something to think about.
Thinking about it.
They'll back up with 2 strikes on the left side of the infield. Andrew Miller throwing in the Cardinal pen. In 8 of his 18 starts, including tonight, Mike Leake has not walked a man. Strikeout number 7. And maybe getting better as we go along.
Well, I think that the young Cardinal lineup starts to feel the pressure. They haven't scored any runs by the 5th or 6th, and they really try to push, and sometimes they need to back off a little bit. Swinging a lot of balls right now.
Now Bader, and he's got his second hit of the night. And again, the tying run will come to the plate. Munoz tied it up late last night. Last night, 2 outs, runner on, and Munoz knew it. His first of 2019 to tie it up 4-4. That's going to be it for Leake. From our Budweiser the game. Mike Leake and the former Cardinal. Jimmy said he was probably geared up for this start. Well, he proved it. Only 5 hits allowed, 7 strikeouts, no walks, no runs. Mike Leake, your Budweiser player of the game, and he'll give way to Austin Adams. Adams came in last night after the home run by Munoz and struck out Martinez, DeYoung, Goldschmidt, O'Neill. He saw 4 hitters, struck them all out. We talked about the funky delivery that he's got. Really good slider. He's got 38 strikeouts in 21 innings pitched in 18 relief appearances. Joined the Mariners back on May 13th. And since that time, it's the second most strikeouts in baseball by a reliever. This guy is tough on the righties.
Short arm too. It's like a quick release slider. It almost looks like the hitters are panicking so quickly out of his hand, and then you see the slider and he can't hold up.
Munoz takes it to right, but into the glove of Vogelbach. So Adams gets his man. Cardinals strand their fourth of the night. It's 2-0 in favor of Seattle. 5 hits aside. Home run by Moore, and Santana scoring on a wild pitch by Webb. BJC Healthcare difference maker. 101 pitches for Wainwright, 5+. His outing tonight. Both runs charged to him. 4 hits, struck out 6, walked 3, gave up the home run to Moore. It's Crawford, Santana, and Vogelbach. And another inning for John Brebbia. He's faced 4 and struck out 3.
Got a little bit of life back in that fastball again.
Cardinals have been shut out in 6 losses this year. And they're trying to avoid a 7th, and to do so, you're going to need the offense in the 9th of Martinez, DeYoung, and Goldschmidt coming up. Here's a 1-2 pitch to Crawford, taken high.
So what you're saying is that to avoid the shutout, we're going to need to score.
That's pretty much what I'm saying.
In the 9th.
You got it.
I'm on board with that.
And a strikeout 4 tonight for Brebbia, as Crawford thought that may have been a little low, and that's 10 strikeouts in the Mariners lineup. How about John Brebbia coming back?
I like it. A little life in the fastball. It's got a little life in the slider too. Little baby Brebbia was just in time.
Here's Domingo Santana. Santana 1 for 3, scored the second run of the night. He was the final hitter that Wainwright faced tonight back in the 6th inning. 2 balls and 1 strike. Five games, including tonight, remaining until the break, and Domingo Santana 6 hits shy of 100. Be just the 17th Mariners player to have 100 hits prior to the All-Star break. The 3-1 pitch.
Wow.
And a strikeout. And Brebbia has faced now 6 in the game and struck out 5.
This is flat out good old-fashioned hardball right there.
Jimmy, tonight is game number 84 for the Cardinals. They're 41 and 42 in the 84 games. If my math is correct, not including tonight, there's been 22 games which the Cardinals have had 5 or fewer hits. 22, 5 or fewer. So basically about a fourth of the games.
That's not good, and that is not normal for this Cardinals organization.
Not if you want to win. 1 ball, 1 strike on Vogelbach, who is walked, flied to center, and singled to right. Cardinals 5 hits tonight. Mariners with 5, but they have the lead 2-0. Shift on the right side for the all-star of the Seattle Mariners. Vogel back with a walk back in the first inning, and that gave him 59 to go along with 20 home runs. Only left-handed hitter in the history of this organization to do that prior to the break. And the 3-1 pitch. Now 3-2. Wow, what a job by John Brebbia. Strikes out the side here in the bottom of the 8th. 6 strikeouts for Brebbia out of the pen. Coming up Friday 12th, Cardinals.com/promotions. Austin Nola is the new first baseman for Seattle. Takes over for Vogelback, and Adams still in the game. He came in with 1 on and 2 outs and retired the first man he saw, and that was Munoz, and a soft liner to first. Fastball, slider.
Pretty simple, just except for the slider is a plus pitch, and I don't think it's been hit yet.
Here's a 1-0. Came over from Washington back on May 4th. Then was sent to the minor leagues, made his debut back on May 13th. And in his last 15 relief appearances, spanning 16 2/3, he's given up just 1 earned. .53 ERA. Martinez hits it out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Martinez here, he's 0 for 3. DeYoung on deck, 1 for 3. Goldschmidt after that, 1 for 3 with the double. Cardinals have had a runner at third a couple of times in this game. Once in the 5th, another time in the 7th, but nothing to show for it. Here's a 1-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. And it's a base hit into right field. And again, the tying run will come to the plate. Elias, the closer, the lefty, only lefty, getting loose in the pen for Seattle.
Martinez does another good job of just staying on the ball. It's amazing. Every time he swings hard, he swings through it. But when he gets back deep in the count, 2 strikes, he stays on the pitch and drives the ball all over the field.
DeYoung, base hit into center in the 7th, representing the tying run. I will say this, and I don't know if you agree, but the slider from Adams is not nearly as sharp as the one that we saw last night. It's just hanging just a bit. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, back-to-back nights, it's you know, tougher to be as sharp, but also a couple guys have seen him, a little bit better idea what to look for.
He struck out DeYoung swinging in the 8th inning last night. In the hole, 0-2. Goldschmidt on deck. And the 0-2 pitch to Paul DeYoung. Got him. That one was nasty there.
Oh, when it's down, it's nasty. Also, you got to remember he's got 95 in there somewhere too.
Yep.
So hitters have to be respectful of that and have to be a little bit quick.
Now Goldschmidt at the plate, representing the tying run. Ooh, vicious swing and strike one.
That's exactly what I'm talking about right there. That right there will keep you from staying on that slider.
Goldschmidt has grounded into 5 double plays this year. Adams has allowed 2 home runs this season. The 0-1. Another fastball swung through it, and it's 0-2, and it sets up that slider now. Willie Chase. Or does he try to go upstairs and in hard on Goldschmidt? He's had issues with that pitch. The 0-2. And a base hit into left.
Just did him a favor.
Sure did.
I thought for sure he was going to just keep pumping him fastballs up.
A 2-hit night for the Cardinal first baseman.
He did miss his location, but he also sped him up.
Boy, you know Tyler O'Neill would love to do damage against the team that traded him away.
B2.
He's got 1 home run this year in the big leagues, and when he was called up, he was putting up pretty good numbers down at AAA. Runners at first and second. O'Neill, the go-ahead run at the plate. Little bouncer foul. Again, you know, last night so sharp with every one of those sliders, and we've seen a few of those tonight, but
flattened out and backed up right there.
Yeah, there's a couple that are very hittable. Just takes one, as you know, Jimmy.
Well, if you were doing a scouting report on Tyler O'Neill, you would definitely say you don't want to hang him a slider, and he just did. See if he makes an adjustment here, and might even go back to the fastball.
The 0-1 pitch to Tyler O'Neill. Dexter Fowler on deck on the bench tonight for the Cardinals. Lane Thomas, Tommy Edman, Matt Wieters.
He also might be eyeballing a save and be trying to do a little bit more.
Here's a 1-1 to O'Neill. The 1-2. Adams, by the way, does not have a save in his career.
Pretty good pitch, but missed his location. It's okay to hang one.
Did not go. Well, 3-2. You know he doesn't want to walk him and put 2 runners in scoring position. Does he come with a fastball?
I don't think so.
I don't either. We'll see.
That's why we're watching.
Well, you had what, 386 home runs? I think you have a pretty good idea.
I wouldn't be looking dead red here. I can promise you that.
And he got the slider and it was hung.
He might get the fastball now.
They've really tried to bust him in with the fastball. But he's seen a ton of breaking pitches. O'Neill tonight is struck out, fly to right, fly to center. And the 3-2 pitch again. He walked him and the bases are loaded. Good at bat. The Mariners last year were 77-0 when leading after 8 innings. This year they are 20 for 35 in save opportunities. And that's going to be it for Adams, and they're going to turn around Fowler. Will face Dexter Fowler with the bases loaded and 1 out, and the Cardinals down by 2 here in the top of the 9th. Came in the ball game yesterday, 11 saves. Couple of hits in the inning and a walk. Leadoff hit by Martinez to right. DeYoung struck out. 0-2 pitch to Goldschmidt, singled to left. O'Neill fought off a 3-2 pitch, drew a walk. Elias defected from Cuba in October of 2010. Made the journey to Mexico, then to the big leagues, and here he is. And Fowler on the first pitch sends one into the seats down the right field line.
It's that hanging changeup right there. He throws a lot of changeups.
Dexter is struck out, grounded to second base, also fly to left with a runner on back in the 7th. All Mike Leake can do is just watch. Went 7 2/3 tonight. Gave up no runs against his former team. Did not walk anybody and struck out 7. Oh, 0-2 on Dexter Fowler with Yadier Molina on deck. Both teams at the top step, their respective dugouts. Anxious crowd here on both sides. Big Cardinal contingent here. 31,000 plus. And now time called. Nothing into the count as they talk about what they want to do here with Dexter Fowler. The 0-2 missed inside.
Good take right there by Dexter. Stay with your plan. That's all you can do.
One, two, base hit into right. 1 run is in as Martinez scores. And at third goes Goldschmidt, and it looked like he hesitated to make sure the ball got through. If he gets a good jump, we're tied.
Everybody had to go back. That's a line drive right at second base. There's nothing that Paul Goldschmidt can do. Even Tyler O'Neill went back to first.
Fowler a big hit. Now Molina. They're still loaded up and only 1 out. The chance of Yachty here in Seattle.
Look at these red fans. About 2,000 people behind our dugout standing on their feet.
of concern, the ground ball. Molina has grounded into 11 double plays. Situational hitting, you think about Yachty trying to get the fly ball, if not the base hit. The owner of 6 grand slams, and this year 2 for 6 in this spot. One out, they're all loaded up. Ooh, almost a wild pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Good speed at second base in Tyler O'Neill. Fowler at first, Goldschmidt at third. And the 1-1. Molina, line drive out to left. It's caught. Goldschmidt tagging up to the plate. He is safe. And the ball gets away. The runners move up. And we've got a new game. It's tied 2-2. A line drive into left and just enough to bring in Goldschmidt.
And this is an impressive job by Goldschmidt right here, because that is a tough play to tag on.
And Tommy Edman will pinch hit for Wong, so they're not going to go with the lefty-lefty matchup here. And Tommy Edman will be the hitter. Wong had struck out 3 times tonight. That may be part of the factor as to why you go with Edman.
I think this is a good move right here. I think Tommy Edman will give you a good at bat regardless of what happens. Colton struggled a little bit tonight off lefties.
The Cardinals rookie 2 for 12 from this side of the plate. Boy, a costly throw there to get away, and air to put runners at now second and third. So wild pitch, pass ball. Cardinals have a lead. You can't say enough about the job of John Brebbia tonight in keeping the lead at 2 and the job that he did. That's O'Neill down there at third. Fowler at second base. 2 outs, second and third here in the top of the 9th of a 2-2 game. Slowly hit, tapped foul, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 pitch to Edman. 1-2. Andrew Miller throwing in the Cardinal pen. Narvaez, Seager, couple of lefties, and Tom Murphy due up. Here's a 1-2 pitch to Tommy Edman. Evens it up at 2-2. Bader is on deck. The 2-2. Edman with a drive into deep left at the wall. Gone! It's gone! Tommy Edman, pinch hit, 3-run homer. The rookie comes through.
Again.
And Seattle is
Look at those guys.
Tommy Edman. You've got to be kidding me. His second pinch hit home run.
Somebody said he would give you a good at bat.
5-2 St. Louis with 5 runs here in the top of the 9th. Oh my goodness.
I love it.
The rookie again. The chance of not Yachty, Tommy.
So awesome.
A 3-run pinch hit homer, Tommy Edman, and his first from that side of the plate.
If I'm not correct, did you not say that it's been a while since we've scored 3 runs in an inning right at the beginning of this inning?
Yes, I did.
That'll be correct.
Here's a 1-2 pitch to Bader. A check swing and a strikeout of Harrison Bader. It all started with Jose Martinez, the base hit to right. DeYoung struck out. 0-2 pitch, Goldschmidt, single, a walk, a single, a line out to bring in a run. And then the excitement of Tommy Edman off the bench, 3-run homer. Redbirds on top, 5-2 thanks to the rookie. He's in the game at 6, and he's given the Cardinals a 3-run lead. The reaction of Tommy and his teammates. What a moment here in 2019. It's the first time the Cardinals have had a 5-run inning since May 18th at Texas. It had been a while. 3 outs away from taking game 2. Here's Narvaez and Andrew Miller in for St. Louis. Carlos Martinez also throwing. Wow. Chevy called to the pen. Andrew Miller pitched a 1/3 of an inning, got a strikeout last night, struck out J.P. Crawford to end the 8th inning in game 1. And it's 1-2. Again, I go back to John Brebbia tonight. 6 strikeouts of the 7 that he faced. Swing and a miss, and Miller's got a strikeout. Rack him up. That's lucky number 13 in that Mariners lineup. 13 Ks.
You keep saying it, but you're right. John Brebbia's outing was unbelievable, and literally only way that the Cardinals come back is with him shutting down the Mariners offense, and boy did he ever do that.
Here's Seager 0 for 3. If they can get the final 2 outs, this would be the win of the year right now for the Cardinals. And I know we've said it before, but you're looking for some type of spark to get them going, and this might be it if they can hold on.
Mr. C.J. Cherry is still awake at 1 o'clock in the morning on East Coast time and said, that is more like it.
I would agree. April 30th at Washington, the only save for Andrew Miller. This obviously not foreign territory for him. He's been in this spot many, many times, and Cardinals signed him. That was the idea, that potentially he could close games out. The 1-2. Backs in there for a strikeout. 14 tonight. in this Mariners lineup. My goodness. It's a major league hitter backing away from that. And that should tell you about the movement. And that slider by Andrew Miller. So he comes in, gets the two lefties. Tom Murphy is due up. Carlos coming in when we come back. And Carlos Martinez was masterful in the ball game that was on Sunday, and the Cardinals came back in that game, and a lot of that had to do with the pitching of Carlos Martinez. It was a long outing, and he was terrific in that game as St. Louis used the Matt Wieters home run to win it. Well, the bullpen, Brebbia and Miller, they've seen 9 batters and struck out 8 of the 9. That's up and in to Tom Murphy, the final hope here for Seattle here in game 2. And the 1-0 pitch. 2 balls and no strikes. Murphy, it's been a tough night. He's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Wainwright, Webb, Brebbia, Miller, and now Carlos Martinez. 26 strikeouts in the Mariner lineup last night and again tonight combined. 2-1. Down by 3. He wasn't even close to the plate, and you swing at that pitch. Game has changed, ball game.
Yep.
The 2-1. 2-2. Needs to end with a strikeout or a ground out to Tommy Edman. Why not? The 2-2. Just missed. No walks clearly in this spot, up by 3.
I prefer the strikeout, Dan. I believe the slider will do it.
The 3-2. And a fly ball lifted out to center. Bader under it. What a win. Tommy Edman off the bench, pinch hit, 3-run homer. The Cardinals played 5 in the top of the 9th, and they win it 5-2. What a ball game and win for St. Louis. Now that's what I'm talking about. Off the bench, Edman, his 3rd home run of the year. First ever in the big leagues from that side of the plate. Pinch hitting for Colton Wong, and he comes through. Maybe this is the game that gets him going. Cardinals are now back to 500 at 42-42. And with that win, they move up in the Central. 5-2 post game is next.